Surprisingly, there are no red dots. Okay, let's look at the replay. Nothing happened. I actually am quite surprised. He must have deployed quite far back then. No. It just means I haven't seen them yet. Let's have a quick look around. Potential places where I'm thinking I should be able to see something moving up on this side already. So the fact I'm not seeing anything makes me a little bit nervous, actually. Nothing in the center here. Now, he would have seen me take that, and he might think I'm behind here, right? That's a possibility. So maybe I've caused him to move a little bit more cautiously. However, there would be no reason for him to do that on this side. So, yeah. Okay, let's zoom out. Let's have a look at the... Yeah, so he might move a little more cautiously on this side, considering I've taken that. That would suggest that it's a possibility that I've put units back here. Little bit of misdirection won't last long. Either that or he's already put units up there and he's moved them back. That's also a possibility. So he knows exactly where I am, and I should expect mortar fire on vulnerable things like the Kugelwagen. Okay, so we won't need to. Yes, we will. Let's stick to the procedure. Otherwise, I'll start forgetting things I need to do. Check the formation leaders. There shouldn't be any suppression. After all, we have not seen any combat yet. Okay, wait a second. Unfortunately, I can't go back, so I'll just have to keep going. Okay. Okay, they already dug in. Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to assume on this side that he's moved something forward, taken a look, and then moved them back. On this side, well, possibility that things have already moved into place. I just can't see them because I don't have line of sight out from here. Probably should need to correct that this turn without being too obvious about it. Now, other possibilities is that he's moved all the way up here without taking those. The thing of the unfortunate thing about how the play-by-mail works is you only see the positions of units at the end of their movement. So even if a unit moved through your line of sight during the opponent's turn, obviously you might have moved a unit up along the road, but if he stops it out of your line of sight, then you don't have no idea. So he could have moved something up here, and it could actually be in here. So best to, but I mean, would require careful. Yeah, see, there's a possibility that they could be in this area. Maybe not in that area. Let's see. Yeah, my line of sight here is actually not very good. This open area has a lot of blind spots on the edge of it, which is kind of interesting. Like I said, the random maps are actually quite cool. I find them to be. I think they're a good learning tool because you're not tied into one map. You really have to get used to a lot of different things, different variations. And it also puts, it evens it a little bit because if we chose a map, the chances are my opponent's seen all the maps. I mean, they're not a lot of pre-made maps. It's a few hundred, but we'd probably use a smaller from a smaller subset of that. So it kind of evens it out a bit that he hasn't seen the maps either. But of course he's much more experienced, so he might not matter that much. No, if he's left anything that's visible, there's no way they could have gotten up here without moving very fast. So that would make it a vehicle. So it would not be if it was left in plain sight. Then yeah, I'd be able to see it. I think I have enough. Yeah, see, I can see into that area. You wouldn't have been able to leave it there. However, I'm going to have to assume that he's seen me. I think that's probably the only reasonable thing to assume at this point. These guys are going to have to move forward a bit, try and get a bit more line of sight. Now I'm hesitant to move them very fast because if we're in line of sight of the enemy already, no, we probably not. Let's say cavalry unit moved up here. That's larger. That's size 2, I think. So chance of it remaining hidden at any speed. Actually, even for size 1, the chance of it remaining hidden at anything higher than say 2x movement is like pretty much non-existent. You're always going to see it, which is why I tend to spot these units fairly easily. I'm not sure if he's doing it because he doesn't know that I can see him, or he's just doing it because it doesn't matter for his whatever he's planning. This side's a bit is a bit of annoying at the moment because I don't have any line of sight. I'm trying to think if I can get line of sight without moving anybody too fast. Let's see. No, not him. Well, if I move him forward, he would have line of sight out of the trees to his limited extent. None of these. So, okay, possibility is to move there and then put him out there, because if I can, and they can then move him back behind the trees. But I have to see if I got enough movement to do that. Yeah, I think so. It's all in mixed terrain, so we should be able to pull that off. You gotta give me a. Except this is height 1. This is height 1 mixed, so we're not gonna see anything anyway. Good thing I checked that. Well, no, I just got lucky. I have to admit. Yeah, so even if I moved him there, you wouldn't be able to see past that height 1, I think. Because he's not in it. It'd be the height 1 would be between yeah, it will block line of sight. So that's no good. Okay, this is awkward. Yeah, this is awkward. So when I want him to exit the trees, probably there. I'm not going to be able to do that this turn, though. That's a bit risky. Well, I could. This height 1. No, the height 1 extends all the way across. Okay, well, that's no good. The height 1 is there, so we're not going to be able to see anything past that. Anyway, okay, oh, these trees are in the height 1, so we might actually be able to see past it. Okay, so I might go there. There, and then in there. I don't know if I have any movement left to get back, though. That's because he would be exposed. Because he'd be moving very fast, and yeah, even a two-man unit at that moving 3x's is better than average chance of being spotted. But it really depends on what it is. So risky. Yeah. The other thing is, I don't want to move the scouts too far ahead, because if they get into trouble, then there's nobody to cover for them. So it may take. I may be a little bit cautious. I'll move 2 hexes, and that will allow me to move either there or there in the next turn. That should allow the infantry to keep up. Okay, so we'll do that move. This one can move all the way up, I think. I'm going to keep him in the trees just in case, but you don't have a good line of sight here, so yeah, I need to get out of this area. So we'll move forward here. You should not be able to see anything past those trees. Well, you can see up here. Actually, you can see a little bit up here, so that's a bit troubling. Hmm. Let's move him. Yeah, fuck, can this infantry move? Actually, I'm gonna move them. Break a minor rule to not. I really should move the recon first, but I want to make sure that these guys can keep up. Because the recon moves faster, so if I let them get too far ahead, then the infantry, there's no infantry to help them out, and that tends to happen to me fairly often. That's one of the reasons I think one of the reasons I tend to lose scouts too easily is because the infantry that they're supporting are not just too far back to actually do anything to help them out. I don't know, it's just a theory, because I do tend to lose scouts a little bit too easily, and it's a bit troubling. I'm trying to think if there's an actual reason for it, so I'm kind of fishing around for one. I don't think it's an accident. It just happens way too frequently for it to be an accident that I'm losing scouts that easily. You can move. Now they look like they all have at least 2. So let's move them up. Right. Yeah, we have no line of sight at all. Now, where can you be seen from? Should I be concerned? Well, there's not going to be anything in there yet, I think. I'm if there's any cavalry moving up here, they'll be probably moving along this path here. I'm trying to remember where his start line was. Actually, they're probably out here already. If they're moving up this side, they're probably out here already. So I'll probably need to be a little bit cautious with that one, because he'd be moving out in the open, and there's possibility there. Nothing's been taken, so he hasn't reached this point yet. I don't know if he'd use cavalry to take that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. To be honest, I really am learning quite a lot playing against a human player. It's not like the training scenarios that I'm trying to complete. I'm not even convinced that they're that I'm gaining is anywhere near as much from them at this point than I am gaining from the playing against the actual human player. I mean, I think that if I actually complete the scenario I'm struggling with at the moment, I'd probably get somewhere, but I don't know. It's hard to say until I've actually done it. So we're gonna do. I think I'm gonna risk moving him one more. I'm hesitant to move him out there. Because if there's something that's close by, but on the other end, if they're really close, then they're gonna be in trouble anyway. So, yeah, I'm gonna move them. Take the chance. And then I'll move these again, and then I'll decide what I'm going to do next, because it may be useful to actually move them up one more if they can, because you don't need to slow down at the same time that these ones do, just to get them far enough forward. Yeah. Line of sight is quite limited here. I mean, it's not. They have to get into very specific positions. Nothing we can see that way. If something moves in there. If something moves into these trees, they're not in. Yeah, they're in trouble. Well, he is, because he's not in any cover. So I'm taking a big chance there. But I'm really kind of worried that I mean, thing is, the cavalry are not much faster than infantry. I mean, these infantry have a movement of 9. They have a movement rate of 9. So cavalry. I mean, I've seen cavalry with the movement rate of 9. So it's really kind of odd that I want to expect them to be much faster. Not as fast as vehicles, obviously. I think the problem is that they have to balance. It has to be balanced because it's a leg unit, and so it has to be balanced with how if they gave it as many points as a vehicle, like a motorcycle unit or something, which has like ridiculously large movement rate, like 40 X's or something or more. But because it's a wheeled unit, they have higher penalties for moving through different terrain. So you could end up with a cavalry unit being able to move faster than a vehicle in some cases. It could happen. So I mean, it does happen in open. It can happen in open terrain. I mean, that's not impossible. But you could have cavalry moving you know, very fast through trees, which is not really all that easy to do, especially in a combat situation, unlike what they show in the movies. So now I think I don't know. Do I want to risk a bit more here? I mean, I've already risked with that one. Because once I pop out here, I think I'll have line of sight. Because this is height 1, that is height 1. Now, if I don't go out this turn, then the cavalry are right on top of me, then I don't have any time to react. On the other end, if he goes out, he can actually move back, assuming he doesn't die in a die a fiery death right away. So, do I be cautious or do I push it a little harder? I think these guys are going to move up again, as they have movement. There's no reason for them not to. I think I'm going to push him just one more, just to get him closer. Like I say, there's no reason for them all to slow down. But I got to decide whether I want to move that one forward, or move them forward again. Thing is, he won't have any. If he moves there, actually, it looks like he will have. No, he might not. Yeah, so he's not gonna have enough movement to retreat. He has 6 points left. That's gonna cost him 4 points. No, 3 points. Yeah, it's gonna cost him 3 points to move in there. He may have enough points left to move back. Yes, he will, because he can actually move 2 X's in the trees. So it might be worthwhile moving him out, just to have a look, and then pull him back. I might do that. In fact, I might do that now, because that would help give me some information. And can he actually see? So that's the first question. Yes, he can. But not very much. Okay, so if there's something moving there, it's gonna have to be moving fast again, because we're in turn 2. We're in turn 2. Well, if it's in this area, it would have to have moved fairly quickly to get there. It's not something you get there by moving 2 X's at a time, obviously. So it's far enough out from your start line that I think we would be seeing them. So the question is, do I leave him there? Because he's moving very fast. He has movement to move back. He has movement to move back. So I'm gonna make that decision later. We'll leave him exposed like that for the moment. But we can move him up, I think. Yeah, his only risk is from this side. That seems unlikely. Okay. So I'm going to move him forward so I can have a look around. Let's just see what he can't see. Keeping in mind that it is 25 hexes of visibility, and that could be a result in a surprising line of sight. Okay, so I have to consider I'm gonna move forward there. At this point, well, he's not gonna really see that much more. He'll have line of sight between the trees, and I think that'll just be a straight line. You won't actually be able to see that much. But it might more spotters the better. and that is always true. So, and he has enough movement that if he sees something I don't like, we can move him back. Actually, what I'm going to do is move these guys forward. Um, actually, that is... We can be seen, because this is high ground, that we can actually be seen from here, it looks like. Can we? No. Oh, yes we can. We can be seen from there. Okay, so this is risky. Well, my intent was not to move these all the way up to there. It would be, let's move forward and assess the situation. These ones were, the intent was to move them up through this side to try and take these victory X's from the flank rather than move up through the town. That's both involve risk. I mean, fighting in the town is very difficult. Casualties will be very high, I think. Moving up through here, because even if you move cautiously through the building hexes, you won't see anybody. Like you'll be bumping into each other. Whereas here you might actually have a chance of spotting them at some distance and maybe do something about it, like run away or retreat. So I don't know. I mean, that's just what I'm gonna try and do. Let's see what happens. I guess we might not even get that far. Moving forward. Okay, it can be seen from that one. It's very difficult to tell. Yeah. So, but it's a very limited number of hexes that you can be seen from. Actually, I should check. Okay, nothing past that. All right. So do I want to move him? Yeah, let's do it. He's got more than enough movement to retreat if this goes bad. Now, what can we actually see here? More than I expected. Which is always the problem with line of sight in the game. You always tend... It is a very common mistake I make that I expect not to be able to see, and then I can be. Well, that's why this game requires caution. It's very difficult to throw it out the window, and I mean, in the first one or two turns, in theory, it should be all right. Maybe even the first 3 turns, in theory, it should be all right, but can never be sure. I mean, he was actually closer to the victory X's than I was, in most cases, I think. So that's why I'm a little bit uncertain that he hasn't moved into a position that where he can see me and I can't see him. Okay, so we got another line of sight there. Whether I'm gonna leave him there or not is the question. He's moved 2 hexes. That's not bad, really. I actually want to move him forward and put him in cover rather than leave him out in the open like that, because I think actually that's probably, yeah. Well, if I put him in some cover, then at least if there's any trouble, um, he's got some protection. Being a two-man unit, they get killed very, very easily. And he's slightly better concealed. They have movement that could get them all the way to there. Okay, well, yeah, so they won't be too far behind. They moved already, so I'm gonna leave them there. I'll come back to that. I do want to move the recon first. That's generally a better idea. Other side, I don't know. There's a height. It's odd. Why can we not see? Well, there's a height 1 area here. Are we in? No, we're not. So, okay, there's a height 1, but we can be seen from that anyway. There's trees there. So don't want to get them too far ahead of the infantry. Okay, we have a fair amount of movement so far. Where are we headed with this? Okay, so that is height 1, height 1. We'd have to get... I think once I move 1x into it, I should be able to see over it. Question is, which way am I going? Moving there. And I won't be able to see past that. Actually, I can't see past that anyway because there's a... Okay, so what we'll do, we'll move across the road. I think that 3 should block some line of sight. Yeah, let's move him here. Height 1. The advantage of putting him here, though, is he's in the height 1. Okay, there's 3 X's of height 1 there. If I put him there, he won't be able to see past that height 1 anyway. Okay, no, let's move this way. Nothing has appeared. Let's put him in the trees. Okay. So, do I move again? Well, the chance of being seen now increase with each turn. I'm actually really surprised I haven't seen anything yet. Like I said, these start line was not that far back. If he'd started in the trees, he would be able to get into this position no problem, even up here. So having not seen anything makes me cautious. um, Now, unfortunately, that if I move again, he's going to be on the road. So that height 1 is still blocking. Well, what I might do is put him here, because I think that blocks line of sight from the trees, from the hill. Yeah, because that cuts off that way, but he's now visible to that side, which is not great, but not terrible either. We can be seen from there though. Okay, so we move the infantry up one more, I think. Okay, these scouts are a little bit too far ahead. We'll put him into the trees, I think. So, question becomes, these have moved, the infantry have moved 2 hexes. Like by next turn, for sure by next turn he'll be in a, I'll be seeing him. Just what matters more is what position I'm in. So I'm gonna leave that for now and maybe move them again. Kubelwagen will probably need to move. So, question is, do these guys move forward? Let's look at that from a higher point of view. Yep. Okay, we're gonna move these scouts forward. We're gonna move. Actually, I'm gonna move all of these forward. But I think I'm better off moving the scouts up this side and then moving through the height 1 field. That would also give me a chance to actually now the question is how fast to move. That's not that's another. If I move forward, I doubt I can move. I can probably move 2 hexes in this turn. But I mean, in turn 2, I think I'm going to get spotted. So, whether it'll be obvious that I've been spotted or not, that's yeah, I don't know. I mean, you may just leave units out because that's an easy way to force me to become cautious. Or you could just set a trap, right? And if he knows I'm moving forward, then just wait for me there. That's not his style, though. I've never actually ever seen him do that. But on the other end, I mean, I've never actually pushed forward that really very much. So it may just be not something he's had a need to try. Because for the sake of concealment, I think we're probably... The thing is, if I move the scouts up through there, then they don't get... their line of sight will be quite limited. And that's not useful, because they could end up bumping into things. Okay, so for this turn, I think I'll move them up that way, because at least, while there's some concealment, there's an alternative here, but it doesn't get very far. I mean, we run out of that height 1 area. This is also a height 1 area, but at least it's further to that side. So, we'll move this way. I have a look down the road, but of course we can't see anything because it's height 1. So the question is, where can they go? If I move them again... now this is definitely a case of not wanting the infantry to be too far behind. Let's see. can he see? This area is very cut off. Like I have line of sight, but he's very far away. If somebody just takes one shot, then we're not going to see it at all. April will move to 1. Well, at the very least, he's going to move forward into the trees. That was decided a long time ago. Don't know. My usual caution is coming back. It's like, yeah. Don't really. None of these units moved in the last turn, so the chance of them being seen are actually quite low. In fact, for some of these, well, I mean they moved 1x, so he moved 1x, so that chance of him being seen are very low. They in these 2 turns, they didn't move at all, so there's no chance of them being spotted. But I don't want to leave the recon in a position where they can't see anything. The thing is, I don't know what's behind here. That's the problem. There's a big blind spot here. So I've looked that way. I think what I'll do is just move the recon into different positions to get better line of sight, without moving them too far forward. Like I say, if they get too far if they're too far away from the infantry, then it's not going to help, because they'll take shots, and then nothing can be done. My infantry can't react because it's too far away, or they can't see it. So I'm going to leave it like that. The Kulwagen, I may risk it more though, because it's not a. It's actually a cheaper unit than this recon squad. I mean, this recon squad's with 10, and that's actually 8. So I mean, slightly cheaper. They're close enough though that you probably don't really want to throw them away unnecessarily. So here's the next question: do I want to move forward here some more? No, I'm thinking actually no. I'm actually going to slow it down. No matter what happens, I mean, he's gonna be able to take those very easily. There's no way I'm actually getting there with infantry to take those. It's not realistic. But depends on what shows up though. That's the problem. I don't know what to expect, right? He moved 2 X's. He moved 1. If I move him again, then I would probably put him, because this height 1 extends all the way across here. So we actually don't really have that much. Still have more things to move. I want to get these into these trees here. That is that height? Oh, that is in the height 1. So yeah, actually these trees are not very useful. Damn. Yeah, okay, the random map can really mess you up. So anyway, I'm gonna keep moving these this way. And I'm gonna look over here. start getting these a bit more spread out. Put him in there. If he moves again, so those LMGs will need to get up to probably these trees here. That's height 0. That is awkward. Anyway, okay, and remaining questions whether to move them another hex. He moved 2 already. Move him there. Yeah, well, he only moved 1 hex, so that's... I'm gonna leave him like that. This one moved 2. No, he only moved 1. So, chances of them being spotted are very low. They moved 2 hexes. 2 hexes? Yeah. So, chances of them being spotted are already quite high. But that's not the worst thing ever. I mean, we'll be spotted by enemy units that are still quite far away, so it's not the worst thing ever. Just means you've given your position, some parts of your plan away, and that may not be the best thing ever. Well, you can't avoid doing that at some point anyway, so let's not worry about it. You can hit, let's see, so that's 20, where's the limit of his visibility, is that the limit? I can't make out where the limit is. So I don't think that's the limit. I think we can, yeah, obviously we can see past that, but I'm not sure. Okay, so we can hit that. Things I don't know. Okay, that's hex 50. 50, so just a quick calculation from here. 69, that's 16 hexes. No, that's 19 hexes, so that's pretty far away. We won't be able to hit anything on the hill. So that's 19 hexes there. That's probably more like 16 or so. Actually, it's not. Yeah, it's not that much closer. Yeah, so that's 8, yes, 16 or 17 along here. It's still pretty far away. Yeah, the thing is, if I'm gonna advance, then I need to move those units up as well. Okay, well, I think that's it. For that movement, I can still do some things here if I want. Let's have a look. Can be seen from that side. Actually, I'm gonna move him a bit more. Does he have any movement left? Yes, he does. He's moved 2. He's moved 2. If I put him there, I can put him into there. He's only moved 1. Keep them a bit more spread out, just in case I do get spotted, and then the mortars don't all need to land in one spot, or the heavier artillery. So here, am I leaving them there? I think I am. Gonna take the chance, but now I need to move this infantry a little bit closer. Well, if he spots me in the next turn, then they will probably get attacked, because whatever spots him is going to be a very fast unit. Now, they may be moving very fast anyway, so they may not. That reduces the chance of seeing things, so who knows how it'll work out. We'll try things. I lose my entire force in the first 2 turns. I don't think that's possible, but I'm not very good, so I think very weird, bad things could happen because I don't know what I'm doing. I want to get these LMGs up just in case. Now, unfortunately, we don't have any line of sight here, so if they run into me, they will, it's the earliest I would see them, and he's out in the open, so, because even if he's not spotted, that won't help. Like, for the opportunity fire to occur, he actually has to see that, so, I don't know how that's going to work out. I gotta move these guys up a bit more again. Which way is he gonna go? Okay, you can actually see quite a lot from that position, so I think I'll leave him there. because he's on a height 5. Yeah. You will need to move forward quickly after that, though. There's plenty of tree cover, so this shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, these scouts are quite exposed here, and the infantry hasn't really caught up into a position where they could actually help them or react to any fire that might come their way. So he's only moved 1 hex, so the chance of him being spotted is very low. He's behind the tree, so he won't be spotted. He won't be spotted. The infantry will, though. So actually, what I might do, he's moved 2 hexes. I might move them up 1 more. That would make it obvious where I am. But if something fires, then the scout might get us. See where it is. If it fires more than once, then it has a very good chance of spotting it. Yeah, let's do that. And there's actually not a lot of places you could be hit from, though, so that's not bad. Over there as well. Now he's in a bit of, he's quite exposed there. Not so much that way. At least it keeps them in the trees. Yeah, that's probably the best I can do for him. He's kind of exposed there. That puts him out of line of sight there. I mean, out of contact. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it this turn. We'll put him here. How far? He moved 2 hexes. He moved. When they've moved sufficiently at sufficient speed. He's the only one that will not have moved that fast, so I'm going to move him up. Just to keep them in contact, and I'll put him there. Okay. Still don't know if I'm gonna. I still don't know what I'm gonna do with these. I've positioned them in a place that would probably work for most things. If he moves up, on this side, they won't be able to do much because there's not enough of them. The way they position would not be able to fire at anything that's very far away. But I could move this one over in that event. I don't know. I may regret this position, but it's not. There's not much. There wasn't much cover here. The only other option would have been to deploy back here, I think. Well, we'll see how it goes. I mean, because I wanted to have the option of moving them up. So this is kind of a compromise, I guess. So the cool wagon is probably the only thing I might want to move, just in case he's been seen, so the mortars don't land right away. So if he has been targeted with mortars, they're not going to find him where he was. Now, this area here I don't have line of sight. So I'm thinking if I put him in here somewhere. Yeah, I'd like to get a view behind here, and I think the Kubelwagen might uh, help me get that. Of course, if something takes a shot at them, nobody's going to be able to see it, so I won't know what it is. Well. Okay, so we can actually see out of from there. Okay, I'm waiting for it to break down here. Okay, this height one extends even further back here, so that's not going to help. There's 3 hexes, 2 hexes of height 1 in front of him, so you're not going to be able to see anything. We'll have to put him here. It's not helping that much. Not as much as I would have liked. He's pretty far forward, but that's okay. I may move him back again because it's not really giving me the information I was hoping to get. If I'm going to move him back, how much movement does he have? 33. This is all mixed, so it actually is not bad. I'm finding that looking up movement rates is actually helpful. So it's costing him 3 to move through there. Nobody shot at him yet. Wait, that should have cost him 3. That only cost him 2. Okay, the manual's lying. Now I think I've got line of sight from this side. Maybe. There's only a couple of hexes in there that's not covered. not conclusive, but I don't think there's anybody back there. They would have had to be moving very fast, so I'm just going to move them back. Well, he knows there's a fast unit around here because I've taken the victory X's. So if he sees it, if he hasn't seen it, he will see it now. Now I can probably I can probably put it behind the height 1, and which would reduce the chance of it being seen easily. No, I mean you could just move a tank in and take it out that way. But he's still visible up there. Actually, he's not. That's kind of surprising. He's visible there. Okay, I think that's it for me. I'm not sure about any of this. This side I'm a little bit more, because I'm just going according to what I wanted to do anyway. But now that I'm getting out of the open, it's like, hey, nah, do I really want to spend another turn? I moved the infantry very fast, so they're gonna get spotted no matter what. But the scouts are a little bit less likely to be seen, which I think is what I want. He doesn't have a very good line of sight, so we're relying on these two to give us any information if necessary. They will be spotted, but that's not a bad thing. I think it will slow them down, but because it depends on what it is. If he's sending a couple of armored cars through, you may not be too concerned. Well, no, he would be because he knows the Germans have pretty good anti-infantry, anti-tank weapons. So, but most of them are not ranged, so you could just blast away at them from quite a ways back, and I wouldn't be able to do much about it. Well, except with if I move my armor up. I think that's it. Is anything else I want to look at? No, just check ranges. Just to make sure I'm following procedures. We haven't fired or I've been fired at, so it's none of this would have changed. We'll just do this in case I see something odd, because there's always settings that are not right sometimes. If I was very experienced, I would just think, oh, I just skip it because I have the confidence to know that I haven't messed it up at some other time. But right now, I can't really say that for sure. Scout should all be 0. Okay, range of 6 is good for them. Range of 0 for the mortars. Forward observer is 0. 0 for him. 3. Okay. Scouts, yes, should be 0. Light machine guns is 3. Tanks are 10. Full wagon is 6. And that's it. End of turn. Okay, that's turn 2 in the bag for me. We'll see what happens next.